Hello, I'm so glad you stopped in again here at Safe at Homestead. My name is Elena. If you're new here, welcome. I am finally tackling the winter sowing project. I should have done this last week. Actually, I should have done this last month. Last year, I was done mid-January. Everything was outside, all cozy in their little greenhouse, just ready to go. This year, I don't know what happened. I'm just way behind on things. And then last week I meant to do it, but the weather just didn't cooperate, and I was really hoping that I could do it outdoors. Well, today is the day. It's going to happen today, and it's so windy. I don't know if you guys can hear the wind is just whipping. So we're going to do this today in the kitchen. So let's get started. Let me show you what I'm working with here. All right, so in this container, I have just a random, generic seed growing medium. And what I've done to it is added this. I talked to you guys about this before. It is earthworm castings, and it's just to help it retain moisture a little bit better. I'm not going to be watering this necessarily. Hopefully, if we get a little bit of rain here in New Mexico, snow, anything like that, it will be able to go into the soil because I'm not covering up these containers. And hopefully it'll have enough moisture. Plus, what I'm creating is a little greenhouse for each set of seedlings. So let me show you what I'm working with. The first thing I'm going to do is with a gallon jug. And this is how I did it last year. I just asked friends and family to save gallon jugs for me. This one is from my milk providers, a local dairy here where I get my raw milk. And all I've done so far is made some holes. Can you see that? I just drilled some holes in the bottom, and I also drilled some along the side. And then I started here with a knife, just cutting. And we're going to cut all the way around, almost. We want to leave a little hinge, like so. See? So last year I made these a lot deeper, and I feel like there was a waste of soil, that I didn't need it to be that deep because we're planting these out, when they are about this big. So not very big, 2-3 inches, at least that's what I did. That worked for me. So this is basically what you're creating here. And then you're gonna get rid of the top because we want rain, snow, anything like that to go in here. Plus we want it to be able to release some of the moisture so that you don't get mold in here. So that's why we need the holes, and that's why we need the the cap removed. So let's get started by just filling this. I have a trash can liner in my sink because I don't want any big chunks of anything. Well, I don't want any of this in my drain, but definitely not big chunks or little sticks that might cause backup in my system. It's as easy as that. And in this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and do some Swiss chard. We had so much Swiss chard last year and enjoyed it so much. Loved it. Chickens loved it too. So these seeds are not too tiny. You can see the size of these. They remind me of little grape nuts. So I'm gonna just lay them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm gonna do 8. Okay, where's the bag? Here. So I put 8 of them in there. And let me grab, where's my little chopstick? Can't find it. So I will just use my finger and just push them in. Not very deep because they're very small. And then I'm just gonna, like this, just rub the soil around it. And then the next step is to put a piece of tape on here, on any corner, just to hold it, and then tape all the way around so that it's taped up, and then we will label it so that we remember what we have in here. And I'm gonna make sure to show you guys how to do that. Okay, next, I just want to show you this container. I saw someone on YouTube use these containers, and I would have never used them because I always thought that you guys hear the wind? Anyway, I always thought that the roots being exposed to light wasn't good, but apparently that's not true because she had great success using these clear water bottles. So we had dinner at a friend's last night and she had some of these and I asked if I could have them and she said yes. So I just cut around, same thing, left a little hinge, and I don't know if you'll be able to see with this one, but I have holes on the bottom and holes on the side, same way. The other thing that I am doing this year is, you guys remember last video I mentioned that I used solo cups and I thought it was a waste because the cups were so large and I felt like, oh, see what I mean? We don't want this going down our drain, so I'm glad I have this plastic here. So I thought I would get these. They weren't super expensive, and since I'm not doing that many, I thought I would give them a try, and it was better than the solo cups. I would use less soil, and it was better than putting less soil in the solo cups and then cutting them down. I thought that was a waste of a cup. So I'm using these Jiffy pots. Something else that I think might work are these paper cups. My husband brings these home. I don't know, I probably have 20. He eats oatmeal for breakfast and he takes it to work, and then he puts hot water in this, pours it into his container, and then he eats in the car, and so these are all in the cup holder, and every day I take out 4 or 5 of these. And today I noticed that they were compostable. I didn't notice that before, so I think I'm going to try using these as well and see if I can't grow some of my seeds in here. So these cups and the Jiffy cups, or the Jiffy little pots, are going to be in their own container. So this is what I'm using for those. I'm using this. And I'm just going to stand them in here, like so. After I get my seeds in them. And then I will use the cover as its little greenhouse. And see, I made holes in there. And I left some of this washi tape on there because I wanted to show you. Can you see this? That's what happened with the first hole I tried to make. It cracked. And so I decided to put tape along where I wanted to make holes to prevent that cracking. I was too lazy to go out and get the painter's tape, which I thought would work great. So I just used some washi tape that I had on my desk and it worked perfectly. And something else, another tip is to put your drill on reverse. It's so much easier to remove, pull it out after you're done. Otherwise, sometimes you have to end up putting it in reverse anyway to reverse it out of the hole that you're making. Okay, so this is going to cover up my seeds like so. And this is going to go outside too and stay there all winter long. All right, so let me go ahead and fill this one so you guys can see. And I am going to be putting some zinnias in here. You guys heard me singing my zinnia woes last time. I just can't seem to get zinnias to grow. And yes, I've had flowers in my garden that I've bought at the local like Lowe's or Home Depot, but I would really like to just grow some from seed, and because they're so expensive when you buy them at those places. And I have been unsuccessful. I think in 5 years I had 1 zinnia come up. It was pretty pathetic. So these seeds are pretty small, and because of that they are in some kind of a mix, some kind of a medium. So I'm gonna spread them really heavily like so. And because they are so small and I can't push them down, I'm just going to sprinkle a little more of this mix on top. I don't want to really sink them down or push them down because I don't want to inhibit the growth. And so that's all I've done. And so I'm going to tape it all up, label it. Last but not least, and the scariest for me, is the gallon jug method. Not gallon jug, but the gallon Ziploc bag method. And I've seen this on YouTube, and I think I've only seen one, maybe two people do it. But she showed her results and they were great. So I'm going to give it a try. So I bought these. This is the kind that lays flat on the bottom. So you want that. You don't want the regular kind that just, I'll show you here in a second. So this is what I did. Do you see how I cut these? I just notched out these little triangles on the bottom and on the side, left and right. And then later when I'm done, I'm going to fold this over and make a couple of holes here in the top because I'm going to be holding these up with some bamboo stakes. So let's start filling this and see how this works. I am really nervous about this, but you never know until you try, right? And if it works, it's a great idea. Okay, so you see how this is, and you see how it's flattened out on the bottom? That's what you want. That's why you want these specific type of Ziploc. So I'm going to put a little bit more soil in here. And in here, I think I'm going to put, what am I going to put? I'm going to put my kale. So the way it worked for her, I'm going to share who she is so you can go look her up and see her results. The way it worked for her is this just got so full of roots that it held everything together, and she just took it out in one piece and then just broke it up and planted them where she wanted. And I thought that was awesome. So let's see, what did I say? Kale. So I'm going to put some kale, and this is super tiny seeds, so they just really need to be spread out. Oh, can I show you this without making a mess? Those are the little tiny seeds. So I'm just going to just spread it all around. See what happens. Okay. I forgot to mention that what I did with this mix is I pre-moistened it because it's so light and airy, and when you try to water it after you've put your seeds in your container, it's just the water lays on top and it takes forever to absorb, plus it displaces the seeds, especially if they're little ones that are just on the top, and I didn't want that. So I just mixed it together, put some water in it, and let it sit there for a little bit. And there you go. This will stay open, by the way, and she put a clothespin in here to kind of keep it open for evaporation, and you guys will see that when I take it outside. Okay, I think that's it for the indoor part of the project. I'm going to tape this up, show you guys how that looks, and then we'll go outside. Here are my first two containers, zinnias and Swiss chard. I'm afraid they'll get blown away, so I am putting these cinder blocks here to keep them in place. Here is my greenhouse box. I have some broccoli rabe, early purple broccoli, lettuce merlot, it's a loose leaf lettuce, and spinach. I also label them with the company they came from so I can keep track of that. And then here's my first bag with kale. And it's really sitting on the ground, and to keep it from blowing away, I'm using these, and to keep it upright, I'm using these bamboo stakes. Just put some holes in the bag here, and because of the wind, I'm holding down the bamboo stakes with some bricks. And hopefully this entire area here will be filled with bags. I was trying to remember how many containers, water jugs I had last year. Probably about 20 maybe. I don't know for sure. I have to go look back at old photos. And then of course there's the little greenhouse box. So we'll see how this works out. And I figure while I'm out here, I'll show you guys the dead garden. I mean, there is nothing happening here. But it'll be a nice before and after for you. There's the green stalk in pieces. I have some strawberries in there covered up with straw. Nothing going on. Hey girly girls, always nosy. And there's that little area where I have the winter sowing going on. I'll catch you guys up on that as I add more things. Hello. Hey. How you doing, Merida? Hey, Miss Merida. Yeah. Hey, Miss Luna. Coming to check out what's happening. Ooh, ooh, Goldie. Goldie, Nosy, and Pepper, of course. Here's Honey. Ruby Red. You guys are seeing what's going on? Hey, Cassia. Checking out what's happening. Hey, Miss Dame. Oops, you guys, board fell over. I'll leave it there because it'll just blow back over again. You guys be nice to Cassia. Cassia is one of the youngest and she still puts up with some hen pecking. No, I'm not letting you out. They're all coming to the door, to the gate, because maybe she'll let us out. Nope. All right, you guys, I'll catch you up on what's going on out here with the winter sowing later. Bye.